Okay, I've done a little bit of work off camera here. I put the valve cover on, and there's a piece of tin that goes underneath the cylinder. It also mounts up underneath the recoil housing, so I had to pull that back off. But I did find while doing it that you don't have to touch any of the governor work. After you unbolt the recoil housing, it'll drop down enough to work out from underneath that. So got that done, and then took a hammer and massaged the muffler back down so it closed that seal up, and then used a flux core welder to weld it back together. It came out okay, a little messy because it's flux core, but that's going to work good. And I'm going to have to go hunt up a bolt because that's missing. I didn't even touch the inner bolts. I unbolted it from the engine here. So I'm going to have to scare up a bolt for that side, and then I can start reassembling. Bolt located and installed. Now we can start putting it back together. After I hunt up the rest of the hardware, I'll be right back. The hardware wasn't that far away. It's on top of that paint can that I was using as a prop for the generator. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. It sounds like an aviary out there right now. We've had a break in the weather this afternoon. Yeah, as I was saying, anyway, the clouds suddenly burned off. The sun came out. And now we've got a lot of happy birds out there. I never could find the governor adjustments or settings for these generators, so I'm going to do it the same way that that Robin generator was done that I worked on in a much earlier video. And the instructions for that one is you loosen this clamp and you make sure that this is holding the throttle fully open like it's doing right now, and then you grab that shaft and you turn it full clockwise. You gotta do it gently because there's very little movement there, but just make sure it's in the full clockwise position and then clamp it down again. So I don't see why it would work any differently on this, but it'll at least give me a baseline to start with if it's not right. Also, Interestingly enough, the way these are built, this here isn't really a fast idle screw. In fact, yeah, it still has the traditional one down in the carburetor. I'm not sure if you can see that. Not fast idle, but that's the screw that adjusts your idle. And this up here adjusts the tension on the governor. The manual does cover this part here. You get the thing running and you put a heavy load on it, and then you adjust this to where the governor's managing that load and giving you the voltage you need. So that was kind of interesting. I've been using these Craftsman wrenches forever, and I think they're like me, they're wearing out because I got so many of them that skip now. Looks like that's how it has to go. Okay. There's a slot above that tab. I didn't see that. I'm still not going to put the air cleaner assembly on it till we actually get it running off the carburetor and know that it doesn't have any carburetor issues. Yeah, all this work and the battle's not even half done. Gotta make sure the engine runs, and then it's gotta create voltage. Then install that fuel tank. Okay, I'm going to this time I actually put gas in the bowl of the carburetor. See if we can get it to run for a little bit off of that. And at the same time, I'm going to plug that lamp into the generator, so if it does fire off, we can see if we're putting out any power. Alright, let me get set up and I'll bring you back. Okay, I think I'm ready. Choke. Alright, I put some more gas in the carburetor. Not down the throat yet, I'm still trying to get it into the bowl. I'm just not sure if I am or not. But put more in there, let's try it again. And we're Water still choked. Well, obviously it should run longer than that on the car. And that light didn't come on. Let me test it, make sure it's still good. It's not still good. I must have knocked it when I moved it. Alright, let me get another bulb. Incandescents are built so poorly today. It takes very little jarring to break the filament loose. Okay, well, I guess I'm just a dummy. Let's try that other bulb. Okay, the other bulb's fine. I plugged it into an outlet that I didn't have the power on to. So, it looks like this thing doesn't generate power. Let's see, we got a couple breakers. And a toggle switch here. Try it again. See if we can get it to run more off of what's in the car, because we should have got more than that out of it. Okay, that's a good sign. Even though this wasn't lighting up, when I flipped the toggle switch over from 220 to 120, the voltmeter was showing the different voltages. So according to the voltmeter, it is putting out voltage. So maybe the problem is either in the circuit breaker for the 120, or maybe the outlet itself. So I'll have to open this up and see. But that looks real promising. Sounds like I do need to adjust that governor. I just wanted to rev real high. Muffler sure made it sound a lot better. Okay, that's good. Now let's try. So we're in the full open position. And then we turn that shaft. It did have movement in it. Alright, I'm going to put more fuel in it, get you guys set up on the other side so you can see the volt gauge. We'll try it again, see if the governor is going to function properly. Be right back. Cool. So the governor's working now. Carburetor sounds okay. Sounds like it's got a little stumble, but at least it's running off of it, and that may just be a matter of adjustments. But you were able to see it is putting out both the 110 and the 220 according to the gauge. So I think it's not getting over here. And you can see that that thing's been smashed too. Maybe that's all it is. So in the next episode of this, we'll be opening this panel up to inspect that. Although I may put the fuel tank on first so we can get it to run steady while we're testing the electrical side of it. But either way, it's coming along. It's sounding promising. And true to form for free items, it's got a sampling of everything wrong with it, but yeah, that's what you get for free. So stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.